So today I want to talk about the semester writing project pertaining to American ideology. So as you know, the assignment instructions are posted on Blackboard under the assignment folder, and so you'll want to read that carefully besides watching this video. Ideological perspectives. So for this essay, you're going to start with a thesis statement, and then you're going to take the facts essay that you've already completed and condense that down to about one paragraph. So you want to really highlight the key issues pertaining to that policy issue. You can then just copy and paste it for the next 4 papers. If you're going to make an argument in a paper, when it pertains to policy, you need to establish the facts first. So you'd be thesis statement, facts paragraphed, and then you work on the body of your paper. So one of the first things you want to do is identify the values of that ideology that you'll be using in that particular essay. When you write your own essay about your perspective, you want to include a statement about your political values. And then you want to discuss the policy preferences of the ideology, its approach to addressing the problem. And that should take about 2 paragraphs after you discuss the values. Now, it may take you more. I don't want to constrain you. I want a thorough job. And some people are more efficient in their writing than others, so to keep that in mind. And then you need to finish with a closing statement. This is proper essay format. It includes a closing statement in which you summarize the points of the essay. So academic writing standards apply. Using a standard essay format, you have a thesis, you have a body, you have a closing statement, and then you need to have a works cited page as well. And this is really critical. You need to use a citation method properly. APA, MLA, or Chicago, doesn't matter. What matters is that it's used correctly, and as I've talked about before, we'll use OWL's Purdue Writing Center website as the standard of what is accurate. Make sure that you proofread your paper when it's completed as well. You're going to look for misspellings, you're going to look for punctuation. Capitalization is a really big issue. A lot of you don't seem to know what's supposed to be capitalized and what's not supposed to be capitalized. And just make sure that the sentences are clear, that there's no run-on sentence. And you want to make sure that you avoid passive language in your essay. Now, sources. The best sources to use will be think tanks, liberal, conservative, and libertarians. Do not use blogs or Twitter pages or web pages posted by non-experts. You want reliable sources. Be careful that you avoid suspect, biased sources. And I want to use an example here of how do we find a think tank, an ideological think tank. So if we can bring up here what I have up. So this, I use Yahoo as my browser. American Ideological Think Tanks, liberal is what I put in the search engine. And then I found that Wikipedia has a list of think tanks in the United States, right? All kinds of them. And you can do further searches along that line where you're looking just for, say, a liberal one or a conservative one or a libertarian. Those can be listed on these websites. They're very easy to find. They often have white papers. Those are essays pertaining to a particular policy. And so those are people who are highly respected. They tend to be people with advanced degrees who have done extensive research, and certainly they're writing from a particular ideological perspective, but that's kind of the point, right? They are saying, okay, we agree that there's this issue, but they're going to differ from one ideology to another on the policy solutions. And so you want to study that very, very carefully. You know, major newspapers like New York Times or the Wall Street Journal, those reputable papers of record, could be used as well. But again, avoid getting into opinion pages on those, because those people who are writing the opinions are not necessarily well studied on your particular policy issue. They certainly have an ideological view, but let's try to ramp up the quality here so we have quality discussions about American public policy. Check your syllabus for the due dates, and all of these papers will be uploaded to the appropriate Blackboard Dropbox.